Hello everyone, welcome to the webinar Clash of the BI Giants. My name is Pushkar and I will be hosting this webinar today. Let's quickly look at the agenda of this webinar. Every speaker will be presenting for not more than 7 minutes. In these 7 minutes, they'll be showcasing the pros and cons of top 3 BI platforms. To kick off this event, let's start with the objective of this webinar. As you can see, according to Gartner Magic Quadrant for Analytics and BI platforms, Microsoft Power BI, Tableau, and Qlik are the top 3 BI platforms in terms of their ability to execute and completeness of vision. We are conducting this webinar to address the most frequently asked question from our clients. And the question is, which is the best BI platform out of the top 3? Answering that question is the primary objective of this webinar. So let's get on to it. What is the idea behind selecting the best BI platform? So 3 BI experts of data semantics were given a sample set of data set of retail chain in the US called Superstore. I will just show you the data in the Excel sheet right now. It is also available in the handout of all the attendees. You can download the data and see it by yourself. So here on my screen, you can see the sample data set. You can see the customers are segmented by their name, by the country that coming from, the city, state, postal code, region. We can also see that there are metrics of sales, profit, a lot of other things included. There are almost about 2,000 entries, about 10,000 entries. And this data set was given to the BI experts, and they have built beautiful dashboards out of this data set. And to understand and see how it looks on each of these top 3 BI platforms, we're going to kick off our presentation with our first speaker, who is Justin. Justin is a certified Microsoft Power BI expert with over 3 years of experience in building dashboards for clients worldwide. He's joined us in from Dubai and will be presenting capabilities of Power BI dashboards with the Superstore data set that you just saw. Over to you, Justin.
Thank you, Pushkar. So the tool I'm using for this visualization right now is called Power BI. It's a Microsoft's tool, and is one of the new players in the market with Tableau and Qlik. So I've used the data set that was provided to me, the Superstore sales from US. So I built this dashboard that you can see on my screen right now, using all the latest features that Power BI currently has, that's till date, and also some of the most used features like cards, etc. So let me explain to you what I have built on Power BI. So let's start from the left. So right now I can see that I have built a card which shows you your KPIs like total sales, profit, profit margin, your number of orders for the given period, and also the number of products that has been sold over the period. And the next one I want to show is something that has been a new feature in Power BI called filters, where you have a filter pane which actually shows you, and is also common across all of the tools. So say if I was to set in a relative date for like last 3 years, everything in my visual starts filtering out for that specific time period and only shows me the data. It's the same case for if I want to see the data on basis of a regional manager. Those are the sales managers for Superstore sales based on different regions such as East, West, and North of US. So if I was to take Anna, I can see the data for Anna, and she's the West Coast regional manager for US. And you can see the sales performance and all the other visuals that are part of the same data set getting filtered out when I'm selecting for Anna, and the data only is shown for Anna. And the same way I can select for a different subcategory of data. Maybe I want to see based on all the sales that have happened for accessories. I can check at that. So now let me just go ahead and show you the next one. So the next chart I've used is the sales performance chart. And here I've used something called as a containerized view, or something which Power BI has brought out called the bookmarking, where there are use cases where you want to see your x-axis, or you want to see different sales by different categories, maybe by you want to see by product, etc. So for that, right now it's by date. So if I want to switch to product, my x-axis switches over to show different products and how their sales has gone, how the profit margin is for across the say specific period I have selected. And also the other thing that Power BI has is something called as a drill down, which basically helps you go down to different levels of granularity. So say we start with 2018, we can go and see what is the next level, which would be quarter. You can see at the quarterly level. And then if I click on quarter 4, I can see at monthly level, which is October, November, and December. And you can keep drilling down all the way to the lowest granularity that your data is in. So if it's at the day level, you can go all the way till day. So the other feature which Power BI has is something called as a visual in tooltip, which helps you create visuals which are not present in your existing dashboard, but it's a tooltip which, when you hover over a specific data point, it actually gives you more insights about the data point. For instance, right now I'm having a tooltip which shows me the sales by segment. So there are 3 segments for Superstore, which are consumer, corporate, and home office. For all 3 segments, I can see what are the sales and what are the percentage of sales that have happened for the specific time period I'm hovering above. So for 2017, I can see that consumers have the highest number of sales because they have 48.73%, followed by corporate and home office. The same when I hover over 2018, I can see that even consumer is doing fairly better, fairly good, and corporate is doing actually better compared to last year. The other feature that Power BI brings into the table of all the other visualization tools is something called as integration with machine learning. Or for example, let me just show it to you. So right now, when I click on say specifically 2017, I can see a chart which gets generated in real time, telling me why there was an increase from 2016 to 2017 in my sales. And it gives me a few options, so I can see a waterfall chart showing me which items in my or which categories in my products in my inventory has actually increased in sales and which has decreased. So I can actually go down and see a list of things. So it tries to use a machine learning model to understand and go through your data and then figure out some understanding, and classifies them as this has been increased, as a decrease in those items. So there's by product ID, there is by, so say if I want to see why there was a increase, the distribution is different, I can click on it and it's going to show me the data for it as well. So similar thing, so I can see where my distribution lies for which state. If it's for Washington, is it for New York, for Florida, so different states of US where my sales have been distributed against, and then based on the chart it shows me a average and a median. The other tool that other visual which Power BI has is called the key influencers visual, which for any specific period, when I select say 2018, I can see what influences my sales. So I can use, this is also using another machine learning algorithm called clustering. It's clustering each of your data points and telling me where does they belong. So for example, for 2018, if I want to see what caused my decrease, I can hit decrease. It runs an analysis on the server. It brings out the values and tells me that the decrease in sales for 2018 was cause of these points. So I can see that as for office supplies, there was a decrease in sales. For subcategory art, for labels, paper, furnishings. The same thing when I move on to say 2017, I'll run an analysis on my data set, figure it out what is my decrease, cost of decrease, and then tells me the same thing. So I can see office supplies is doing bad for 2 years, 2017 and 18. So maybe I can take action on how I can improve my sales for office supplies category so that I can get more sales coming in. The next visual that I want to show you is a very small visual, which is called as a It's actually a ranking visual right now. So it shows me the top 10 customers by sales, and they are also color coded based on the highest sales being in green color, and as the sales decrease, it's turning into to a darker shade of red. And the other one, and this is also can be customized based on, say, if I want to see the bottom 10, I want to see the bottom 20, top 5, bottom 5. So it's basically a ranking visual, and you can have based on customers, products, etc. The next visual is basically a sales, it's a map visual which shows you sales by location. And right now, the bigger the bubble and the color is green, which means that the sales has been good. And if it's red, it means it's been bad. And somewhere in the middle is yellow and orange. And also here, there are use cases where you maybe want to drill down to a lower level. So right now it's just showing at a state level. So I can see this is California. So if I was to drill down, say click on California, it's going to drill me down to the states, cities of California, and then show me this specific sales for those cities. So right now, if I was to zoom in, I can see that the red parts are all the bad sales, and there is very high sales in Los Angeles, while there was a medium amount of sales happening in San Francisco. But the rest are all doing at a red state, which means that I can actually improve my business in California by increasing sales of the places where it's red. The other visual that we have is your traditional table table visual, which has category, sales, profit, and profit margin. This can increase with more columns based on the requirements from the users or your business. And what we have incorporated here is usually there's a drill down by using these arrows at the top, but we have incorporated something which is similar to what Excel users have been used to, which is your plus and minus button to expand a specific category. So I can just see that there is phones, copiers, accessories, machines, etc. as part of my technology. And the other feature that Power BI brings in is if I had to right click on it, I could actually drill through to see more details at a very line item level of those sales. So if I was to go back in to drill through to this, I get all the line level items for that specific visual. I can see each product name, the product ID, the order date, how much sales I've made, the sales based on the coloring, which means green is good sales, then as it goes down it's showing red, etc. And this can be customized based on your requirements as well. The other feature which Power BI has, which is different, is something called as a Q&A feature, where your end users can actually log into this report. They see that there's a specific KPI is not available. They can actually start asking questions to it, and it will actually give me the answers for it. So I can give top 10 city with most orders, and then it's going to give me a bar, and then I can give as bar. It's going to give me a bar chart, and even I'm complete typing it, and it's going to keep giving me values. And if I like something, I can actually pin it. I can use it in my visuals. I can use it across anywhere for my dashboard. So with this, this is what Power BI can do. Over to you, Pushkar.
Thank you so much, Justin. That was really precise and really insightful. Uh, moving over to our next speaker and presenter, Nimisha. So Nimisha is a Tableau expert. She has a lot of experience in building Tableau reports. She has built more than 100 dashboards for multiple clients across the globe. And she's also the co-founder of the Innovation Lab at Data Semantics. Even she's joined us from Dubai for this presentation, and she's going to showcase the dataset visualization on Tableau. Over to you, Nimisha.
Thank you, Pushkar. Greetings to all. In this webinar, I'll be discussing about Tableau, which is a new Gen BI tool. Tableau is known for its self-service analytics platform, which helps in exploration, allowing you to quickly answer questions with data, and share insights across your organization. It helps people to see and understand data. It also helps the technical and non-technical people equally in building ad hoc or complex reports. For this demo, I have used the Superstore data and I'm analyzing on monthly sales KPIs. This is being used for the executives. So this dashboard helps to easily monitor the most important metrics in the organization, such as current year sales, previous year sales, the difference of it, and the trends in it. Similarly, it is put across for profit, total orders, total cost, shipping cost, and days to ship. Now, this can be also filtered with category and region. For example, furnitures for central, and this you can even add more filters to it. For example, a date filter or maybe a regional manager, anything depending on your business requirement. Now, I want to see more details to this particular report. So Tableau offers two options to navigate through different reports by using buttons or action filters. Here I have used button, which is the latest release, and this helps to navigate from one dashboard to other dashboard. Now this report is giving me a detail on how the shipping cost and number of days of shipment for those products. Now on the top, I have the main KPIs, which gives me the same current year and previous year sales. And on the left, on the right side to the bottom, I have the how it is being categorized into shipping by ship mode, by product types, and how are the orders looking in. Now, here you can see there's a trend line against the ship mode for the number of days it takes to ship, and as well as the average shipping cost. When you hover over a mark, for here example, it gives you more details into number of orders it needs to be shipped through the different ship modes, the average shipping cost it takes, and the average number of days it takes to ship. Also, I have added a trend line, which gives you an analysis on a continuous trend for the days to ship. Apart from a linear trend line, we also have logarithmic, exponential, and polynomial data models. Tableau also provides one more feature called as Vision Tooltip in case you need to add more details to your existing visualization. When you hover over a chart, over a data mark, you can see the a visual inside a tooltip, which gets filtered along when you hover over or select over that data by giving you a precise data view. Now, once you share the dashboard across to your colleagues by using Tableau Server or Tableau Online, in this case, I have used Tableau Online, you can see a preview device layout, which will guide you how it would look in your mobile or in your tablet. You can navigate from different dashboards over here. And now you need to download this particular dashboard. Tableau provides different file formats. Tableau has also introduced PowerPoint in its recent release, wherein you can download PowerPoint and you can use it for your presentations. The next feature that Tableau has brought in is Ask Data, wherein you can have a quick insights by getting answers to your questions in the form of data visuals. For example, sales by category. So here it gives you the visual. In case you need to change the chart, you can change the chart over here, select it. And also when you hover over the different dimensions, you can see how the most common values that is being used for that particular dimension. And you can save this and share it across. The next feature that Tableau provides in its latest release is a Tableau extension. Here I have used show me more function, wherein like it shows me the flow. To create a Sankey diagram, it shows the flow of sales by the different technologies. If you select technologies, it will give you the percentage of how it is towards phones. You can also find more extensions available from Tableau in this particular site. That is the extension gallery, which has button filters, image filters, brush filters, and so on, date updater. Like you can explore this and you can select based on your requirement. Thanks for listening. Uh, Please stay tuned for our future webinars. Thank you.
Thank you, Nimisha. It was really great and insightful. Moving to our third speaker, Venkatesh. Venkatesh is a Click solution architect for end-to-end product development and administration with over 8 years of experience. He's going to showcase the dataset visualization on ClickSense. Over to you, Venkatesh.
Thanks, Pushkar. Good afternoon, all. Today I'm going to talk about ClickSense. As you all aware about ClickSense, I think it's one of the powerful BI tool in leading market and which gives you more insight and analytics. A revolutionary self-service data visualization and discovery application designed for individual and group collaboration. By using ClickSense, you can create a personalized interactive data visualizations, reports, dashboards, drag and drop, makes it more insightful and multi-source. And when you talk about more in terms of ClickSense, which gives you more, has a associative engine, it has a codes and new augmented intelligence capability, which can be embedded with any machine learning technology which you have and get insight from the ClickSense. And ClickSense helps anyone discover insights, a query-based BI tool, and driving data literacy for all skill level. Freely search and explore across all your data, instantly providing your analysis when a new idea surfaces. Take an advantage of machine suggestion augmented intelligence, which I'm going to show you in a few seconds. With that, I'm starting my analysis by using our stored data, and I'm just going through the KPI overview. ClickSense gives you a more flexibility to bring it up the KPI whenever you drag and drop your measure, and where you can set your measure based on your requirement. I start with we have a number of customers and a number of orders, and how much profit across our sales, and how much sales we have, and YTD sales and YTD last year sales, and quantity, and return orders. These are the return orders features. And I just want to mention here the bar chart, which have more flexible and where you can bring it up your bars of sales, and again inside you can bring it up your you can tell about your profits on across over a year. And another powerful feature which I want to bring it up, it's a narrative analysis which can be embedded with the ClickSense, where it will be an interactive analysis. And any BI solution, once you analyze, if you want to be given a representation, you need to be narrative with a notes to give a more understandable or meaningful information for end users. So Click has a capability to do on the fly based on your selections. It generates a narrative analysis based on your selections. I'm just giving I just clicked on one of this sales area, so it gives you sales and the profit of that particular selections which I made it. So that's a one of the other advantage which gives you more flexibility. And going to the other features, I'm going to sales and profit analysis. Here we have a flexibility. I can select my measure. Based on my measure, the chart will display. Right now it's profit, which is showing everywhere. And when I select sales, it changes instantly based on your selections. And these are the filters where you can select, and you can make your all uh, request to analysis. And once you you even have a feature called date picker, where you can pick your date, and instantly it gives you a selection based on your dates. And when I talk about charts here, I brought up in a waterfall chart which talks about sales and cost of the products and profit. And this is the sales, and these are the cost of the products which has sold to, and this is the profit which I bought up from the waterfall analysis. And I have even segregated that sales wise segment. So when I talk about consumer, I have a sales of the one which is showing here, and I have profit of the one which is showing, and this is the share which you have multiple features in terms of even the pie chart itself. And another feature which I want to talk about is table, where you can color code your analysis based on your top performance sales, or low performance sales, or even in the case of profit. And I'm going to talk about other features which are talking about customer overview. Here again, I brought up an narrative analysis to bring it up more understanding about comparison of the profit and sales of the customer. So based on the selections, the narrative analysis displayed. Again, I brought up customer sales for top 10 and top 10 profits, and comparison between the profit and sales with respect to sales and profit. You have another feature called the clicks and search, which gives you more flexible to search anything on the fly, which talks about functionality which allows you to type any keyword which are there in your data source. When I type sales, which gives you instant charts based on the keyword which you type. So whichever you feel that it suits for your reporting purpose, then you can make it up and add it into your sheet. So it's not only gives you one chart, it gives you all the possible chart based on your keyword what you typed in the your global search. That gives you more flexible and understanding, and it is a more self-service driven, where an end user need not to be known much in terms of a technical to derive any report or dashboard from clicks and perspective. And Click has a feature called ClickBot, which I cannot demonstrate here, but that can be that can be used on multiple windows in terms of ClickBot, which is basically talks about when you talk to the system by natural language, it gives you a reply instantly within a value or within a chart based on your your natural language. And that gives you more flexible, and it has been instantly using multiple platforms like Slack, Skype, Microsoft Team, and instantly it give you charts and data driven insights. And Clicks has a flexibility to get a data from any web tools or any websites which has a REST based connectors, and data dictionary, data discovery, which is basically you can connect to on the fly, you can connect to the data source, and it gets the data whenever the data source is updated by using an SQL query run on the fly. So that is one of the greatest advantage feature in Clicks. Here I cannot show you with the functionality, limited function in the desktop. And even Click can be embedded within a web applications in a portal or web application or internet or extranet sites by using a Click iframe code, which can be embedded into your URL integration by using a Java based code. And you can even build up a Click mashups, which you can publish it into your web page. That's another advantage in terms of embedding into Click. And in terms of understanding more about uh, data storytelling, which I'm going to talk about. So this is the future which inbuilt a Click has. Just going to show you which of the chart you want to, which of the sheet which you want to bring it up into the Click. You just on the fly go and add it, and that can be embedded into your chart. For now, I just made it a KPI sheet. And once you do a play button, and you will get an option, either you can export it into PDF or PowerPoint to make it more data storytelling. The purpose of data storytelling is to turn data discovery into a story. Emphasizing important elements helps to create a convening stories, supports the stakeholders in a decision making. Data storytelling lets you combining reporting and presentation and exploratory analysis techniques to create a more meaningful information for the end users or in a business users. That's a great advantage to bring it up into the Click. And another features which I want to talk about, each and every sheet you can export into PDF, and that can be again embedded into your presentation purpose. And with this, I'm closing from my end. Thanks, Pushkar.
Thank you, Venkatesh. That was really great and really insightful. Now, audience, before moving to our main man, I'd like to remind all the attendees, if you have any questions, please send them across in the chat window. We shall attend to these questions after Imad's session. Now, coming to our CTO, Mr. Imad Shah, as we like to call him. He works with our clients from all across the globe, including India, UAE, the US, Netherlands, Spain, and Mexico, to just name a few. Imad sir will explain the importance of data warehousing to get your business insights. Imad sir, over to you.
Thanks everyone for an insightful demo of the tools. So quickly picking up where we have left in the introduction. So we have demonstrated the 3 BI tools which are there in the Gartner rating, which are rated the best in the industry today. The Power BI from Microsoft, Tableau, and ClickView. We could have replicated the dashboard, but it would have taken the essence of using the tool. We would like to show the real capabilities and the features that were there in each tool. I hope you guys have liked the presentation done by our panelists. We have much more detailed presentation for each technologies in future. Do join in that depending upon your preference of the tool. So quickly going to the feature list, there are many more features which you can have it for the tool purpose. Currently, I'll just go through what are the out of the box features that are there in these tools. It doesn't mean that you cannot achieve these features in other technologies. You can always, if you know how of the technology or the level of expertise that you have in a tool, you can replicate the same feature in other tool. Okay, I'll just quickly run through this, and then we'll go to the data warehousing, why it is necessary in implementing a BI solution. When it comes to Power BI, it has tons and tons of custom visualization, which is there in the library. You can go download those, try it out. If you would like to build some charts like Sunburst chart or Sanikey chart, you need not to build it up from the scratch. You can just download the custom visualization from the library and build it on the go. You can always have a data-driven alert for your CXO level where you don't want to bombard the mailbox with an alert on a regular basis, but a data-driven alert and a smart alert which will get them the pulse of the business at the right time, at the right moment, and take the right decision. From the dashboard perspective, you can an end user can pin any dashboard or any component of a dashboard within their library so that they can open it and then consume the information. Power BI, as it getting evolved over a period of time, it is now becoming a more of a powerful data manipulation tool as well. You've already seen the data AI and ML integration that was demonstrated by Justin. It is very tightly integrated. You need not to go out of the Power BI interface to get the meaningful insights and draw and consume the inbuilt library that are there for ML. One of the fantastic features that is there in Power BI, you can always go for a real-time analytics where you can connect to a couple of data sources if the data size is not high and the number of concurrent users are not so high. You can always go for a real-time analytics by using Power BI. And when it comes to pricing, be it an implementation of 10 users, 1,000 users, or 10,000 users, Power BI is the leader in the industry right now. If you do a real costing for the tool, it stands out. When it comes to Tableau, Tableau has its own USP. It's there in the industry from past 10 years. It has grown leaps and bounds in that decade. Few of the features of Tableaus are like self-service BI and ease of complex report development. The turnaround time to develop the report is quick. If you know the features and know the tool, you can quickly turn around some complex reports with the least technical skills. A new power trendline option that has been added in the latest version. Do try it out. It is really gives that meaningful insights for clustered charts and drawing averages and in your dashboard. Viz Tooltip, which was started as a concept in Tableau, now all the tools are almost there. We can have the visualization tooltips in all the tools. You can always do an intuitive storytelling with Tableau, where you can annotate the dashboards. You can you can do your commentary for the dashboards always in the Tableau storyboards. Hyper again gives the extra boost for your dashboard. As Nimisha has given you few of the extension galleries, and the power of export to the PowerPoint is really great, where you can just download a dashboard and then you are good for your corporate presentation or a CXO or boardroom presentation. And R data, which is again an NLP engine, which is almost there in all the tools to get the meaningful insights. If you're not even technical, you can just speak with your data with your natural language, and it gives the insights. When it comes to Qlik, these are the standout features which you can again replicate by using some customization and other things in other tools. But Smart Search is an option that's there in QlikView, which we can search within a dimension or a measure or a visualization. It gives you all the data repository that is there. It is a very good and an intuitive data storytelling tool from a data perspective. You can effectively use the white space or the real state of a screen by using containers and designing your dashboard to the pixel perfect by using ClickSense. Again, with Qlik Insight, the bot that is driven in AI, it gives you the powerful analytics tool which you can do and do NLP and get the meaningful insights from your data. One of the standout feature again from Qlik is a narrative analysis that you can get from a chart, so that when you are doing a commentary on a boardroom presentation or a boardroom deck, it becomes consistent throughout the different dashboards. So these are the few of the standard or out of the box features from the tools. Coming back to the reference, this is one of the reference architecture that I've put across on board here. Knowingly or unknowingly, these are the 5 different steps that are there in building a dashboard. And knowingly or unknowingly, we do it in these steps in various tools. But if you segregate it physically and have different data point segregations for each set, that's where your solution becomes robust and scalable, and it can give you the real ROI. On the left, you have your sources. It could be your traditional RDBMS. It could be your flat files. Then you have the more new gen data sources from cloud and the API. Generally, these data sources are collated and put across in a landing area or a staging area where the data harmonization happens and the cleansing of the data happens. Depending upon your data need, your data strategy, it could be your data warehouse could be an RDBMS or could be an appliance. Again, if you're talking about like terabytes of data, it can go to on a data warehouse. It can always be an appliance, or it could be a new generation data warehouse which is on the cloud, be it an Azure data warehouse or Redshift. Then you have an OLAP layer which builds your KPI library, your measures and dimensions, and sets across the security matrix for the company who accesses what at what intervals. It can always be dictated and configured in OLAP layer. And then on the extreme right, you have your visualization, which is Power BI, Tableau, and ClickSense. So unknowingly or knowingly, we do these steps, but depending upon again the turnaround time that is required to build up a report or dashboard, we try to do these data manipulations in various tools, or we tend to do this to offload these workloads on the tools that are not meant to do it. But ideally, if you can segregate this into five different physical layers, it can scale your solution and give a robust architecture to your data needs. So coming back to one of the real-time scenarios that we generally come across in our organization. During the journey of an organization, they try to pick up many tools that are the real need for the business and the data to maybe to optimize a department or to optimize the functionality or the needs for the business. You tend to procure many different applications. In the diagram, it shows an ERP application, budgeting and planning and budgeting tool. Then you have a couple of CRM tools, HRM tools for your HR management system and other applications. So when you tend to have data in different applications, there is always a contention where to pick the data from. So let's suppose in this scenario, you would like to take the data from the sales for the sales. You always have a contention. Okay, whether should I take the data from my CRM tools? Again, if you're taking the data from for the sales, whether you always have a contention where to take the data from, whether you would like to take the data from the CRM tool or the ERP tool. And if you have a journey of upgrading your ERP or having a new implementation of ERP, it's always difficult to juggle between multiple applications and get the data out. Okay, so these are the few real-time scenarios that I put across. So just to answer for and to give why do you really require a data warehouse for a scalable and robust data needs, are like integrate many different sources. You can always, once we have a data warehouse, we can always create one version of truth, which you have one number being spoken by all the different departments across the organization, which helps you to take real meaningful decisions. Historical data, which would have been archived in different applications, could be consolidated in data warehouse. it enhances the data quality. It helps you to do master data management. It enhanced your business intelligence, and running traditional analytical report, or the report that requires longer duration, or huge amount of data on your existing system could be an operational issue on the performance. So it is not advisable to run those reports on your the ERP applications or the CRM applications. Again, if you would like to do a self-service BI and the new gen voice assistant BI tool, and consume the data in altogether new different flavor, you always would like to have a data warehouse where you could have restructured the data and renamed the tables in a more in a sense where business can easily understand and get the meaningful insights. Again, it's a very cost-effective. It makes a cost-effective decision making, because it reduces the dependency on multiple individuals, and it reduces the channels to get the information. You have one place to go, dig the information, and then get that to the decision makers. Again, one of the interesting thing that is being there. People tend to use data warehouse as a reporting data repository, but that's not the case anymore. Data warehouses can be also be used as a data for downstream systems for the new implementations of forecasting tools or analytical tool, be it your master data management or digital assistance, or be it your start of your digital journey. Since the data in the data warehouse would have been gone through in so many eyes, the data would have been validated so many times, so it could be a very good source for implementation of new system in the organization. It increases the productivity for the corporate decision making. It helps you to get the timely access of the data. With the new generation tool, BI tool, that what we have seen right now in our presentation, you can dynamically go through the presentation, building dashboards and the reports on the fly. If you have a meaningful and a very clean data set, which was provided to all our presenter, and at the end of the day, it gives you a better ROI on your investment, making sure the data is accessible at the right time at the right moment. And at last, data security, it can easily be governed in the data warehouse. When you can control who sees what at what interval, and what time can be easily governed by using data warehouse. Thanks, Pushkar. Over to you. If the attendees have queries, we would be happy to answer a few.
Sure thing. Thank you so much, Matt, for the insightful presentation. Audience, we'll move on to the Q&A round now. A lot of people are asking us questions. We may not be able to attend to all of them right now due to limited availability of time, but we'll address some important questions for sure right away. If at all we don't answer your question right now, we shall reach out to you after the webinar with answers to your queries. So don't worry, all your questions are being answered. Please feel free to type in your questions in the chat window, and we'll attend to each of them either now or after the webinar. Before moving on to the Q&A, I'd like to remind our audience about the one-on-one consultation on BI. And if someone from the audience wants a one-on-one consultation about any of these BI platforms, they can simply send a message in the chat window, and we shall call you and address your queries after the webinar. Okay, let's move on to the questions now. The first question is it better to have data warehouse on premise or cloud? I think, Imad, you would be able to answer this question better.
Yeah, it depends again on your data strategy, what you are taking. If you have already invested heavily on your on-premise data sources and you have licenses for any RDBMS, like, and your data needs is not more than 100 GB to 100 GB, you can always build your data warehouse on SQL and Oracle. But when it comes to a data warehouse size which could be beyond 600 GB, 700 GB, that's where this traditional RDBMS doesn't suit the requirement. That you have to switch over to the appliance, more about appliance driven data warehousing solutions that are there in the industry. And if you are starting a fresh, and you are okay with a cloud strategy with your then ideally it would be a good to start small, because the investment that would be going into to start a full blown end-to-end distributed architecture for data warehouse will not cost much on a cloud, be it an AWS or Azure. You can always spin up a few of the instances on the respective technologies and take it forward. Yeah, I would put it that way. It depends on your data strategy and the data needs, Pushkar.
Thank you, Matt. I think that should answer the question. Our next question is about Tableau, and I think it goes to Nimisha. The question is, in Tableau, can you customize tooltip or can you have a visualization within a tooltip? Nimisha.
Uh, so in Tableau, it provides customization. Like when you create a tooltip, you can go into the tooltip marks card. You can edit over there, do the customized formatting. You can add conditional formatting, and within tooltip is wherein you can add your visualization. And inside the tooltip, like you need to configure it, but it is possible in Tableau.
Sure. Thank you, Nimisha. Uh, I think the next question is to Justin. It's about Power BI. The question is, can we use Power BI for real-time reporting or operational reporting? Justin?
Yes, you can use Power BI for operational reporting. There is different methods of connecting to your data source. There's one method called as direct query, where you can connect directly to your source database and query data in real time, near real time. And the other method would be using a push or a stream data set, which can be written in different languages, such as PowerShell. You write in Python or Spark, and then keep pushing data onto the Power BI service, and then you can have real-time data.
Thank you, Justin. Uh, we have another question for you, Justin. Can we use Power BI without a data model?
Yes, you can. So one way of doing it is basically as I said, direct query, where your data is modeled already in your data warehouse using this traditional star schema for data warehousing. You'll have your facts and dimensions. And the other way is if you don't want to have a data model at all and you just want a specific view or a table is created which has all your numbers, you can use it without having a data model running it. And also importing the data into Power BI creates its own kind of a data model, which is easier to create using mQuery, DAX, etc.
Thank you, Justin. Venkatesh, we have a question for you from the audience. Is narrative analysis an inbuilt feature in Click? Venkatesh.
No, narrative analysis, which is an extension which need to be bought. You need to bought from the extension store, and that need to be integrated with your Click application. That's how it works. It's not an inbuilt feature.
Thank you, Venkatesh. We have another question for Imad. Can't we connect directly to the BI? What is the necessity of having a data warehouse, Imad?
Again, it depends on like how much amount of data that we are talking about. If you're an organization where your data sources are somewhere between 20 to 50 GB, and the number of concurrent users on the operational systems are not so high, you can always build your reportings and BI needs on this. on your operational database itself, because now the tools has all the capabilities. All the three tools have all the capabilities for doing the basic data modeling. But when it comes to the when you have like 4 or 5 systems and the information is scattered across the organization, which is generally the case, and you don't know where to pick the right data from, and at the end of the day, if you would like to invest on the licenses of these four tools that are there for your operational need, again you have to pay for it. Like right now, everything is like you have to pay as per the users, even if you have an ERP application or CRM application, because that would not justify the investment that would have gone in that in enabling the users. So that's where the power of a data warehouse comes in, where you integrate multiple applications, and then you have a uniform data that is being given to the decision makers.
We have another question for you, Imad. It goes like, I'm migrating my ERP application. Would I be able to move historical data into the data warehouse and do reporting? Or would I need to move my entire data to the new ERP application?
Okay, I come from an ERP background. Generally, when you do an ERP implementation or a system migration, you generally don't tend to bring in your historical sales into the historical data or historical sales into the new system. There are various reasons why you don't do that. I feel the appropriate time for a data warehouse is when you're switching the information, when you're switching your information systems, be it an ERP application or a CRM application, so that you create one single repository of your data. The end users are not lost whether to go for an old system to get the sales, or whether the customer is integrated in the new system or old system. So these kind of questions or gray areas that appears during the implementation of the new ERP application can be easily handled by having a separate data store, that is a data warehouse for your reporting and BI needs. And it helps you for consolidation purpose as well. Like you need, at the end of the day, if you like to create an year-on-year analysis, your last year sale would have been in one version of an ERP, and the current year would have been in another version of ERP. At the end of the day, pretty much most of the users tend to consume time downloading data from multiple systems and then doing a mashup and then coming across a year-on-year analysis, which can easily be reduced by creating single repository, and then they go to your data warehouse or the reporting platform that you have it to get that year-on-year analysis, or to get that growth ratios, or get the perspective from all the systems that are there in your ecosystem.
Thank you, Imad. Uh, Another question for Justin. I think this will be the last question because we're running short of time. Justin, what are the data sources supported by Power BI?
Currently, Power BI supports around 50 plus data sources, which ranges from your normal traditional RDBMS data sources, such as Oracle database, your SQL Server, your Teradata, and also even databases such as SAP HANA, SAP, SAP's S-base is supported. Then also through files, Excels, CSV files, JSON, etc. There is actually a link which we can provide, which has all the supported data sources which Power BI supports, and it also has the newer version of data sources, such as you can call APIs as well. API calls are allowed, and also you can import your websites, which has tabular websites, and into Power BI as a data source. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Justin. I'm sure that helps. Okay,
I just
closing.
have one
We're
more last
closing the
question.
Q&A
Can you guys hear
round
me?
right now, and
10th of May.
Thank you all participants for attending this webinar. And you can feel free to write to info@datasemantics for any further information that you need, or visit our website datasemantics.co for any more understanding queries, or to feed your curiosity about our about technology, about news, about latest case studies in the industry and stuff like that. Thank you so much for your participation. We're leaving the webinar open for another 10 minutes for all your queries to come in via chat. And we should close this presentation in the next 10 minutes. Thank you so much.